WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Ireland called the Sailor's Home from the Islands series. Didn't know there was a series already. And this is the Caravelle 10-year-old Martinique Rhum Cask finish. Whiskybase number 200838. And this is one of 2,300 bottles worldwide, batch number 1. Now, the Sailor's Home Company Limited is in Limerick, Ireland. They are not a producer of whiskey, not yet at least. They are, but they're a independent bottler, let's call them that, of whiskey. And I have tried some of their products before. So I want to pull out one of their products I've tried already. I think there was at the beginning of last year, I did the video of the 3 with the Sailor's Home. This is the 10-year-old Horizon with 43%. This was 46%. This is, according to the press release, non-chilled filtered and natural color. This is according to the bottle non-chilled filtered. No mention whatsoever of natural color. Triple distilled, and Jack Osei is the mastermind. At least he's the master nose and the master blender behind this, let's call it enterprise. Now, not only did we have this, the Caravelle, the 10-year-old here, I think it's going to be Coolie Juice. I don't think West Cork had anything at the moment 10 years old that they're giving up. I don't think Middleton gave anything up. I don't think Bushmilk gave anything up. And basically no one else has anything that could be 10 years of age. There was, at the same time, the Journey, which was a Irish whiskey, which means blended. There was a single pot still, which I think was John from Great Northern. Might have been West Cork, I'm not really sure. The transparency is not great. I must admit sometimes where they get their source whiskeys from. And the 5th bottle that we have here is the Storm Chaser from the newest bottle, which I don't know if I'm going to do a review or not because I put it into a blind tasting. And it's a single malt from the Explorers series. This was the first of the Islands series, the Horizon 10. And now we have over here the other one. Now, this is Whiskybase number 167983. It came out October 2020. This came out December 2021. Shows how long I've been sitting on this bottle. This goes for a price of about 50 euros. This goes for a price of around 52, 51 euros. So it hasn't changed much in price. Let's see if it's changed at all in the taste and in the nose. All right, so nosing this. I like. Now, I am not the rum geek. I have tried 10, 15 different, maybe even 20 different rums in my life. Most of the times, not voluntarily. It's like, hey, you like spirits. Try this. What is it? Oh, it's not whiskey. It's a rum. Yes. It's like, okay, good. I don't know my way around rum, whatever at all. I do know that there are certain rums with an H, and for example, Martinique Rhum, and it's also called Aricole. And this is a Barbados rum without the H. And there's different ways that you have to make this. I'm not going to talk about the rum that much. I'm not going to talk about the Horizon. I'm not going to talk about the Caravelle. I'm going to talk about the fact that transparency is somehow missing. Where was this made? And the thing that you could have given us is how long was the finish? Is this a 2 months finish, a 6 months finish? Was this 2 months, 12 months, 4 months? I don't know. The press release did not mention anything about how long the finish was, unfortunately. It did just mention became a finish, received a finish in the ex-Rhum Aricole casks from a not further named distillery in Martinique. So 46%, non-chilled filtered, natural color, and the first batch is limited here in 2,300 bottles. I like C+, B- on the nose. Over here. Ooh. I have my problems with this one. This is green, which means I have the entire feeling every time I've tried this whiskey, this is going to probably be coolie juice. Could be, as I said, someplace else, but I don't think so. And they had very, very poor casks for a few years there. Cooley literally ran out of money and just started reusing the casks they had again for a season. I don't know how long that season was. And so they bought the cask somehow, Sailor's Home, brokers, who knows how many hands it's gone through in the meanwhile, and then put that Barbados rum finish on top to try to cover up those bad flavor profiles. I really don't think that they had that possibility. Now, I made a very, I'm going to say a very bad statement that I did not think about at all, to be honest. I said, oh, 50 euros for a 10-year-old Irish whiskey. That's actually not a bad price. There aren't that many out there. And then it was like, oh, wait a second. I took a look. Over here in Germany, we had like 15 different whiskeys. We have the Redbreast 12-year-old, 46 euros. We have the Tullamadou 14-year-old with 40 euros. We have the Yellow Spot. It's a little bit more expensive, 65 euros. We have the Connemara 12, 55 euros. We have the Bushmill Sherry Cask Finished 10-year-old Travel Retail for 49 euros. We have Turcullen, the Madeira finish, Sherry finish, and the Port finish, all 10 years of age, all for 50 euros, 46%, just like this. We have the Quiet Man, a 12-year-old cherry finish, 46%, for 67 euros. We have the Bushmills 10 for 26 euros. There was actually a cuvee from the Causeway Collection, 10-year-old, with 54.8% ABV for only 67 euros. There's another Quiet Man, 12-year-old, for 52 euros still out there. There's a West Cork 16-year-old out there for 50 euros. Hinch has a sherry finish for 10 years of age for 47 euros. And there's even the Powers John Lane 12-year-old single pot still. And we have 55 euros for that. And let alone we have a Gelston single malt 12-year-old for 50 euros as well. And not to mention this bottle here, the Tullamadou 13-year-old Rouge for 60 euros. So there is whiskey out there at the moment with an age statement from Ireland at a price that is similar to these. Some 40, some 60, but we have a similar profile here. All right, so this is not as much of a unicorn as I thought. My question is, how long will we continue to have these 10-year-old? I don't think Cooley's giving up any more 10-year-old. I'm fairly sure Bushmill isn't. I'm fairly sure that Middleton isn't. And then we ran out of places. West Cork's, who knows when they'll have the 12, 10-year-old that they'll be able to present to the independent bottlers out there. It's going to be a tough time to get age statements for Irish whiskey in the future at an affordable price. So even when you got the bad casks, you can make something happen, and I think they got some good casks and had that Martinique Rhum. It was very, very nice. So let's try this 46 versus 43. That little €2 extra could just be alcohol tax, excise tax here for the 3% extra ABV. For some reason, this really pushes all the buttons. Tickles me pink. The rum cask finish with this, the batch 1 at least, is strong. Now, there's a little bit of a tingling on my tongue, which means, hey, there's alcohol. There's more tingling than a 46% 10-year-old whiskey should actually give me. I was reading an article from Dr. Bill Lumsden the other day, an interview with him, and he started talking about the main factor that we have in Scotland versus every place else in the world, and especially in comparison to the brand new distilleries that we have in Scotland as well, is oxidative maturation. How much time in the cask you've had with the oxygen actually reacting with the spirit. We know oxidative maturation with sherry. Fino doesn't have it. There's that fluor. Oloroso does. And there's a lot that happens to the whiskey, to the spirit, with the interaction with the oxygen in the cask. And the cask is not airtight. It interacts also with the environment outside. The pores of the wood allows air to exchange. That's why we have the angel share at all. So we know that happens. Now, he said a statement which I do not disagree with. The question is, how much of a value does it really have in my life or my whiskey evaluation moment? He was mentioning how important that oxidative maturation is. And I kept on going, it doesn't matter if you put a whiskey into a terrible cask and let it sit for 30 years. It's not going to be great. Now, if you put a great whiskey into a great cask and let it sit for 5 or 8 years, it might actually taste, for WhiskyJason, much, 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 much better than an old whiskey does in an inactive cask. I think that the cask influence is more important than the oxidative maturation is, but I'm still learning. Question of the day, what's more important, cask or how long it's been sitting in the cask and interacting with the air and oxygen? All right, good. This is good. This is a C plus B minus whiskey. Pushes all the right buttons. Very, very nice. Value for money, a solid C. I think this is good value for money. I like the rum. I'm not usually a big rum fan of finishes with whiskey. Every once in a while it's done right. This is done very, very, very well. Now, the official tasting notes. On the nose, I should have gotten pineapple. Nope. Savannah grass. Don't think so. Dedamera sugar. Brown sugar for us Americans. Sugar, yes. On the taste, I should have gotten fat, creamy toffee. No. Sugar cane, maybe, yes. Blood orange and licorice. No blood orange, no licorice. Now, candied bananas in the finish. Me and my bananas. I am banana blind. So who knows? What I haven't done, I haven't actually diluted it down a little bit here to see if I get some of those notes. Now this, I'm going to go back over here first. 1 second. Nope. Pineapple, no. Savannah grass, no. Brown sugar, maybe. Interesting enough, it stands up to... Oh, interesting. It's sorry, it stands up to water very well. I almost choked because, okay. I looked at the prices. The Journey, that's the Haven. So the Journey over in the UK, in Ireland costs 45 euros. The Haven costs 58 euros. The Storm Chaser costs 65 euros, which I didn't read before. The Caravelle costs 69 euros. And the Barbados Rum Horizon was 65. We're paying 50, 52. Excise tax, distribution costs, retailer margins, a little bit different in Germany than in Ireland. VAT, all those factors play a role there. Even with water, well done. Yes, I still agree with my C plus B minus and a solid C. Buy it if you want to. I don't think I've ever given an A for value for money. A B maybe, but it's got to be very cheap whiskey that tastes much better than expected. So C is, hey, A, why haven't you bought it? B, buy it. C, if you can buy it if you want to. D, don't need to buy it. And F, why was the stuff even made? All right. So over here. I know I looked at the bottle when I did the comparison in Germany. It was like, are you sure this is chill filtered? Oh, it's non-chill filtered. It said so. Because this is there's more of a viscosity here. This is much thinner. And there's that woody, old dirt, that green crab apple moment going on here. The Barbados rum tries to cover it, but doesn't really. This absolutely. It's like putting 3 coats of paint on something. And what's underneath you can't see anymore. This is like a half a coat of paint where you kind of still see things shimmer through. It's shimmering through still. And this is totally coated. And I like the coating. And so this is for me a C minus D plus. I'd have to go watch my video again to see what I really gave this whiskey back then, but it wasn't good either, I don't think. But this is fantastic. All right, so next question after we have the cask or the oxidative maturation is, what is your favorite, what is your favorite rum finished whiskey? America, Europe, Japan, Asia, Scotland, Ireland, what is it? Of all the things that I named of the €50 price class with an age statement of 10 years or more, not a single one was rum finished. Interesting, the only one. And I think this was these two are the only ones. I think that's a very, very interesting factor here. So Sailor's Home is doing a good job of getting some, at least here, the Martinique Rhum casks, and doing a great job of finishing this whiskey. I'm looking forward to more. So I've showed you all 5 expressions that are out there at the moment. We'll see whatever else hits the market sometime soon. WhiskyJason here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, telling others, and commenting down below. Bye-bye.